So it's now Wednesday, midweek. It's been 2 weeks, and I've been kind of wanting to make a video since the weekend because I it's just that's what I wanted to do, and just kind of recap what's happened and where I am now. So I made a video on Friday, and then I made a brief clip on Saturday night because I was so stoked because I went to a friend's birthday party and I didn't have any drinks, and it was like it was a 50th birthday party, so a milestone, so good excuse to drink, and I didn't have any drinks. I prevailed the entire night. I wanted a drink. It's going through my mind the entire time. I want to drink, I want to drink, I want to drink. And I'd look around and see people with beers and I'm like, oh, I want a beer. But I stuck to like pop and water. And as the night went on, it actually kind of got easier because when I first got there and saw people with beer, the thought was, oh, like one beer would be okay, maybe two, and then I'll switch to water. But what I found was, like, I started with something not beer, not alcohol, and yeah, as the night went on, as I had gone through, like, oh, I've made it 2 hours, oh, I'm probably only going to be here another hour or two, it got easier and easier by halfway through the night, and I'd kind of like, oh, well, I can have a drink. Then I'm like, well, you've made it this far, and how are you going to feel if halfway through the night all of a sudden you cave when you're only like an hour and a half away from leaving and going home? Why not stick with it? And I did, and yeah, there was like some peer pressure, obviously, every time I had water, but I don't know, I did it, and I was so proud of myself because it was a very, I don't know, maybe that's not the most difficult situation, but going into it I was thinking like a party like that would be one of the most difficult things to get through with not drinking. So, pretty stoked. And then Sunday I had curling, and afterwards, after the game, it's a bit of a tradition to go upstairs, have a drink, and I again was like asking myself, well, like, should I have a drink? We won. I think we won. Maybe we lost. We won. Yeah. And so I was kind of like humming and hawing about again, but then I just ended up having a Crown and soda, which was actually quite refreshing and nice, a little rehydration. And so, yeah. Then the next day, so it was a really good weekend. By the end of the weekend, I was feeling pretty stoked on myself. It had only been, I had a couple beers on Friday, so it had only been a couple days, but I was still just feeling very accomplished from the party. I was feeling like a winner. And then made it through Sunday. Monday, I had more curling, and this was a game to win the playoffs. So we'd already won the league that we were playing in, and then there's playoffs after, and it was for the playoffs, and we won on a crazy shot. And I did the whole hum and haw thing again, but that time I allowed myself to have a beer. And like thought about it a lot and was like, how would you feel afterwards if you do have a beer? How would you feel afterwards if you don't? And honestly, before having them, I was thinking either way, I will kind of feel the same. I'll feel like it was a lesson either way, and I didn't think or feel like I would be super negative or unhappy with either decision. And one point that I thought was interesting is that it was a big win. So I was like, oh, like I deserve a congratulations. I deserve to celebrate. And so celebrating automatically was associated with having drinks and alcohol. And I thought that was interesting and probably a important thing to mull over a little bit more about that and many other things that are associated immediately with alcohol, like going for a social engagement with a friend, going for on a friend date, going to a restaurant and just automatically having a drink, It's the things that we don't even, the things that we do and don't even really think about. So celebrating, I deserve a drink. Like, it doesn't have to be always a drink. So that was a cool realization for me. What else happened? So I ended up having, and then someone offered me a drink, and I accepted, and so I actually had 2 pints that night. So in hindsight, like, I didn't need it, but I had it, and so I didn't feel upset with myself. I also, I guess, didn't feel accomplished for having that. And looking forward, it's not like after those 2, I wasn't jonesing for more, and I wasn't like thinking about how I wanted to get drunk. It was like I had those 2 pints, and that was that. And so I'm still feeling very positive about the future and my outlook as far as how this is going to go. So it's Wednesday now. March is over. It's April 1st. And this is all a big April Fool's joke that I've been building up. Haha, no. So in March, I was doing this for 14 days. So 2 weeks. No, today is 2 weeks. It was 13 days in 14 days. And for 9 of them, I was booze free, and 5 of them, I had some sort of drink. And like I said a couple of videos ago, like looking at that, I was feeling a little bit dejected at that time when I was looking at it before on a whole scale. Like, I think it was 10 days and 4 of them I'd been booze free. And so I was feeling a little bit like that's only a little bit better than 50%. I'm not doing very well. So I could kind of think the same thing about this. Like 9 out of 14 days were booze free. But then I can think of like a couple other days where I was offered a beer. I went somewhere where people are drinking and I declined. So like this could have very easily, had I not been monitoring what was going on, could have very easily been, you know, half that amount of days booze free. So I'm still feeling accomplished. I'm still like excited about this. I'm still looking forward to what's going to happen now. It's a whole new month. So I'm 2.5 weeks away from this having been 1 month, from the 18th to the 18th. And yeah, I think today, yeah, that was my weekend. That's my week so far. I have some things coming up this weekend, like some family time, and it's a holiday, Easter. So 2 kind of, not triggers, but like, you know, people get together on holidays and have wine, etc. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. My mother actually recently stopped drinking though, so that will be helpful. And then on top of that, I'm going to a show on Sunday in a club, like a music show. So already in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, like I can have like 2 drinks that night. But we'll see what happens as it gets closer and how I'm feeling. Last thing, trying to keep these videos short because no one likes to sit around for 10 minutes and listen to someone else gab. But one last thing, I think today I'm going to go public with this and start editing these or whatever and putting them online and then letting everyone know what I'm doing, which is exciting and yeah, scary, I guess, because it's taking it to a new level, and I wonder how it will change things as far as if people will like stop even offering me drinks or inviting me out, or if it will change my conversations with people at all, my social life. We'll see. I'm excited. I'm curious. Still trying to figure that out.